Matrix Success International, the #1 lifestyle enhancement company in the world.
Hello and welcome. I'm Brian Dalmaso, and welcome back to day 4 of the Matrix Self-Confidence Formula. I'm so excited to be working with you this week, and we're getting towards the end. And today we're going to be talking about overcoming fear, and actually fear and procrastination. It's one of the biggest killers of self-confidence. So I'm really excited to be working with you. And the other day we went through what this mind map is, the conscious, the subconscious, and the body. And we talked about what fear is, right? Fear is an emotion. It's an emotion. It's energy in motion that's installed or impregnated into the subconscious mind as a belief system. It's triggered, right? Some people have an immense amount of fear about almost everything, and other people, it takes a real lot to trigger the fear. I guess everybody has it at some level, but the level of fear and how much it dominates your life is really what we want to talk about. It's a little bit of fear is healthy to keep you alive and not doing, crazy things that are going to endanger your life too much. But if we're afraid of our own shadow, if we're afraid to make a move, afraid to get a new job, afraid to do the new things, you're really crippled by this. And that's where this comes from, right? Fear produces anxiety. So if you're feeling anxiety at any point during the day or in your life, it's because of this transmutation of energy from thoughts to things. And overcoming fear happens by focusing on the polar opposite. And my mentor, Bob Proctor, used to say, this stuff is so easy that most people miss it. He said, if I could put it in a syringe and inject it in your ass, I would. But it takes time. It takes study. You got to understand the mind-body connection, how thoughts become things, transmutation of energy. And that's what this is over here on the left-hand side. Worry and doubt and negative thinking are what lead to fear. You can't just have fear. It doesn't work like that. There has to be programs in your subconscious, which would be the opposite of confidence, right? It's a lack of confidence coming from worry and doubt and negative thinking. So the way to change this is to get the new mental program in the subconscious mind called confidence. And that's what we're working with here this week. Another challenge is understanding this knowing-doing gap. One of the lessons we have in thinking and results is the knowing-doing gap. And I'm going to explain a little bit here, but this is another foundational reason why 97% of the planet is failing at almost everything. We're not taught this stuff in school. Again, so there's no blame. I call it societal and generational ignorance. I grew up in a completely ignorant state. My surroundings were completely ignorant for the first 42 years. It wasn't until I met my mentor, Bob Proctor, who was aware, who had been studying for like 60 years about the mind-body connection. I was able to just download all this information. I actually took thinking and results for 6 months, and now we teach that all over the world. So this knowing-doing gap is the difference between knowing what to do and actually doing it. And the gap is the subconscious mind. You can see it right here in this picture. This is why I love this picture, right? It's not enough to know that, oh, I want to be more confident, and I want to build self-confidence. It's not enough to know that. You can't just have a fleeting thought. You have to have a process where we get it from here into the subconscious, because the subconscious is what drives the body. Right now I'm speaking English, but I'm not thinking. It's a mental program called speaking English. And you see my arms moving. Those are more mental programs. I'm not thinking about this stuff. We're only thinking when we journal or write, or when we're trying to solve a problem that we don't know the answer. So let me give you the secret to this. The reason why it's so difficult to change a habit or a mental program is because the subconscious mind is about 1,000,000 times more powerful at storing programs than the conscious mind. I want to let this really sink in. I'm giving you like total pearls here, guys. There's a reason why it's hard to overrule your habits. A habit is a physical expression of a mental program, right? So all the habits that you have, smoking or going to the gym, eating healthy, eating bad, making money, not making money, those are all mental programs expressed physically. And most people are trying to change the physical habit. You have to change the mental program. But I want to tell you why this is. It's like, why would God make us this? Why is it going to be so difficult? Well, if you think about it, when you're born blank. And we consciously look at things and it's like, oh, I want to get from here to there. And we start trying things, right? In real time, when we fall and we move, we get hurt and it's, oh, don't do that, and then we get up and one leg in front of the other. So the conscious will try things. The subconscious stores things. Does that make sense? So we need this storage system. Otherwise, you'd have to wake up in the morning, right? Learn how to get dressed again, learn how to speak, learn how to drive a car, go to work. Like, we need to store mental programs. So the system is perfect. How we get taught at an early stage is what's flawed, right? We're taught by ignorant people and ignorant school systems over time. So then we get to be in our mid-40s with no confidence and a whole bunch of virus code programming, I say. So this explains this knowing doing gap and why it can be so challenging if you've been trying to increase your confidence all these years or increase your results. This is why it's challenging. That makes sense, guys? So this is a core part of the program that leads towards overcoming fear and procrastination. So I think one of the best things to do is get it out of your head onto paper. What are your fears? Like, if you don't have confidence, it really means you fear something. I want you to think about that. If we say I don't have confidence, it means you're afraid of the result of trying the thing, whether it's asking out that girl or that guy, or going for a promotion or a new career, studying something new, moving out of state, out of country. So I would challenge you guys to get out of your head. What are all your fears? Because once they're out of you, we can start to change the perspective and build new mental programs together, right? The second thing is, had you made a decision? We're on day 4. There's only one more day. Have you made a decision that you're going to put a stake in the ground and do something about this? If not, then you can watch these videos till you're blue in the face. Not much will happen. We need to make decisions. So are you going to commit? And if so, what systems are you going to put in place? There's a million free books out there. You could already have read them years ago, right? You could have changed this yourself. The information is free, but it's not bundled, right? Where do you go? So what systems are you going to put in place to change and build your self-confidence? All right, so here we are again, back with the conscious, the subconscious, and the body. And I want to give you a graphical representation of how we're born, We're born like this, guys. Remember I told you that you're not born with low self-confidence? A brand new baby will crawl across a freeway, right? With traffic coming in both, no fear, full of confidence. So if you lack confidence, it has to have come from the environment, from your upbringing, from experiences. And again, there's no such thing as good or bad here. It just is. But what we want to do, and if you take the lifestyle assessment, you'll see where you're at. We want to assess where we're at and then make some decisions, right? We don't want to go another year, 5 year, 10 years down this road with lack of confidence, lack of success, lack of results. So this is kind of why, this is kind of how we're born. And it shows that when we're born, everything can go right into the subconscious. You never chose to speak your native language. You never chose to have lack of confidence. A lot of the things that are giving you results, you never chose those. It's not your fault, but it is our responsibility to change them. So hopefully this makes sense as to why we have some of this virus code programming. And from age, 0, even in the womb, to like age 7, this is what a young child and a baby looks like. So if people are smoking around, you pick up the habit. If they're ignorant, if they're broke, it all goes in and you build those mental programs. So in the matrix, we're looking to assess what they are and then rewire the subconscious mind. If we do that, you have to get new results. There's no way around it. You have to. All right, guys. And this again is how we are born. We're born in an ignorant, open state. The subconscious mind is wide open to impression. So if you have low confidence, it's not your fault. It's your programming, and we can change that together. All right, guys, I want to talk a little bit more, go a little deeper about the conscious mind. The conscious mind is where the intellect is. We call it the thinking mind. It's also the masculine, right? If you've heard of masculine and feminine energy, that doesn't mean men and women. It means masculine and feminine. Everybody has both, and some are dominant one way more than the other. So we all possess this. It's also the electro. If you study Dr. Joe Dispenza and metaphysics and quantum mechanics, human beings are electromagnetic beings. That's just straight science. We're like batteries. We attract people, places, things, and circumstances. So again, I'm just kind of going a little bit deeper here to understand the mind-body connection. The subconscious mind is where we would call the spirit, the emotional mind, the feminine energy. It's the magnetic, like I said, so electromagnetic beings. And guys, don't beat me up on this one. The emotional mind, the feminine energy, the subconscious is about 1 million times more powerful, right? This is life-giving energy. And it's important to understand this because we can't really operate without both. And the conscious mind actually can control or harness the more powerful subconscious mind. right? And we can teach the body to get into a new vibration, to take new actions. So this is the same process of building more self-confidence or higher self-confidence. Understanding, first of all, you may make a decision. I would like to be more confident. That stays up here. Then we teach you how to get that into the subconscious mind, how to build the confidence. When you build more confidence, the body vibrates at a higher frequency, and we get better results. Is this making sense? I like to come at this from a lot of different angles so you really understand the mind-body connection, how the most successful people are building confidence, how they're thinking, acting, and operating, and how you can apply it towards your life and your career. So again, looking at the magnetic field, and again, this is right out of Dr. Joe Dispenza's Becoming Supernatural book. If you're studying quantum mechanics and quantum physics, you understand that we put out frequencies, we put out waves that or auras or energy fields that you can be measured with equipment, right? So this representation here kind of shows what that would look like. So in the conscious mind, we're putting out fields, and in the subconscious mind, we're putting out fields. Now, this is an example of a highly magnetic human being, right? Elon Musk is highly magnetic. He can do a tweet and change markets. Everybody in the world knows who he is. He's an example of a highly magnetic, highly confident being. In his fields, at least as far as some of what he's doing, look like this. Now, there's other parts of his life that I would not want at all. Same with Steve Jobs. I mean, some of these people are just so dominant one way that they don't connect with society, and it's not a judgment thing. It's just personally, I think everybody watching here, what you really want to be able to do with your life is be able to do what you want, with who you want, when you want, and where you want. There's very few people like really, really want to be a billionaire or willing to do that. So again, there's no judgment there, but Elon Musk is a highly magnetic human being. It's a good example. Now, most of the people are running around the planet, unfortunately, with their fields out of whack, right? Consciously, they're worried about a million things during the day. Subconsciously, their mental programs are scattered and all over the place. This is called a double binding message. A psychiatrist would call this a double binding message. When we're wanting to go one way with confidence in achieving goals, but we end up going another way, it produces fear and anxiety. So this is another graphical representation of how somebody's way out of balance and how to get back in balance. All right, so I'm going to give you this here. This is something you can print out. If you book a strategy session, my team can do all this stuff too. We have printouts, goal cards, everything you see here. We actually have a self-confidence formula, a life script. So if you decide to book a strategy session, we're going to get you all of this stuff in that strategy session. But you can balance these fields simply by understanding what's going on. So this is me. This is how I do this, right? On the electro or the physical, I meditate, I pray to God about $1 million net per month, right? I meditate about the #1 lifestyle enhancement company in the world. These are physical things in the electro. Corporate deals, 10,000 mindset masters, thinking the results clients coming in, 30 a month, world-class sales team, serving over 100 million people, right? You can even hear my energy getting up and up and up. I have this right on my nightstand, and this is how I can balance my electro part of the deal. On the magnetic side, it's emotions, right? And you can do this too. You can literally just have this and meditate or pray on it, auto-suggest, affirmations, whatever you believe in. And this is all the feelings like ease and calm and flow. It's free, it's abundant, it's powerful, grateful, relief, love. So this is a graphical representation of something you could have on your nightstand as you go to bed, just balancing these fields so that you become more magnetic and you raise your confidence. All right, guys, that makes sense. I want to show you another example of why this isn't your fault, right? I like to do that so you can release all the baggage. If you're carrying around all that weight, all that baggage from yesterday and yesteryear and 2 decades ago, very hard to move forward, right? So most people, they're looking at the results. We're programmed to do this. We look at the current bank account, the current body, current relationships, and the results cause our thinking. We get up in the morning and it causes our thinking. This is where you want to introduce a pattern interrupt, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Now, that thinking sets up frequencies of vibrations known as feelings. If you say, I feel sad, what you're really saying is that I'm in a low vibration. If you're depressed, it's an extreme low vibration. you're excited, what you're saying is I'm in a high vibration. So these feelings cause the body to move or not move, action or lack of action. This is more than likely how you are programmed right now. This is how I was programmed up until about age 42. And I still have some of this going on, right? I can still be rocked a little bit by external environmental stimuluses, but I have tools, and we call it thinking into results. I have tools that I use to change this. When somebody works with us in the Matrix, we teach them how to start with new thinking, right? Thoughts become things. Most people are thinking things and trying to make a thought. It's against evolution. It's not physically possible, right? We need new thinking if we're going to change the vibration. And this is the 1% thinking, right? So we're going from spirit to intellect to body. Call it tapping into God or putting energy into the quantum field. But new vibrations have to cause new actions. The body moves differently, and new actions have to cause new results, right? So thoughts become things. This is how we reprogram somebody over 6 months in the Matrix when we go through thinking the results. And I wanted to give you a snapshot of it here because there is a formula to build confidence. There is a formula to have success. There's a formula to build wealth, right? It's understanding spiritually, intellectually, and physically in the body. And then we let go and let God. This is how we build confidence, right? We work on the spiritual, the intellectual, and the physical planes, and we let go and let God. All right, guys, so that has been the overcoming fear part. I hope you're getting a lot of value. You're understanding the mind-body connection. Tomorrow is the last day. It's a self-confidence formula. We're going to give you the formula, and I'm also going to share about my history on how I got to where I am. So again, at any time, if this is resonating and you want to book a strategy session for your unique situation, your set of circumstances, you can click on the link below or scan this code and you'll get one of our success advisors, or you might get myself, and we can take a deep dive together. So until tomorrow, be well and God bless.
Subscribe for more inspiring content. Embark on your journey to success with us and book a call below with Matrix Success International to unlock your potential.